What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the Kino Casino DSP. Josh, can't remember his name. Anyway, the owner of Kiwi Farms video or stream yesterday that occurred on the Kino Casino folks' channel. By the way, I believe I got this clip from Raw Phil, so big ups to Raw Phil. It's about 15? Yeah, it's about 15 minutes long. This is the segment where the casino folks and Kiwi Farms, Josh, I believe his name is Josh. If it's not, my apologies. Where they bring up the topic of Derich. That's right, Derich IP, the number one Coomer, the number one DSP fan, the one that's gotten protection. I mean, mafia-like protection on DSP streams for how many years? God, I mean, it's close to, it has to be almost like 10 or 13 years. As long as Phil has been streaming, Derich Ip has gotten the protection from King Phil. That's right. And it didn't matter what you said, what you did. If you brought up Derich in a negative light on his stream, Phil would ban you. God knows why this guy got so much love and protection from Phil. It was almost as if he was like a stepson or an illegitimate son that he fathered many years ago with an Asian woman. I'm not sure what it is, but he's afforded this protection that no one else on his stream, except for maybe Canadian Kirk. Canadian Kirk is there, NOIC, of course, his massive pay pig. But no one gets that kind of leeway to spam chat, harass people. Known PDF file on both YouTube and Twitter, and God knows wherever else, right? He's been called out for years by multiple sources, not just detractors, Phil. I know Phil loves to say that only detractors are bringing this up. His own chat moderators, his own people in his chat for years have been saying what Derich has been doing off his streams and off his chat. And linking to Phil, and I'm pretty sure that on the Discord where Phil has conversations with his moderators and a few other people, the topic of Derich has come up many times, and the sense from Phil simply is, okay, if he's annoying you, just mute him in chat, and that's the language Phil gives to everyone. If you don't like seeing Derich spam in chat, just block him, so you don't have to see his chat. And the vast majority of his chat does. They don't listen to Derich. They can care less. They don't want to see it. They don't want him on the site, right? But of course, because the detractors want him gone, Phil dug in. Like, I just don't understand why this was the hill that Phil wanted to die on. And he's still coping and seething, by the way. So let's watch this clip. It's not the whole thing. I spiced it up a little bit because I think that segment was probably about 20 minutes. But I got about 14 minutes that I want to look at and comment on. So let's do this.
That was brought up to me, and I'd like to hear your perspective. Do you know a guy named Derich or Derich?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like a supporter, moderator, and like thumbnail maker for your stream, right?
Wrong on all three counts. He's not a supporter, he's not a moderator, and he's never made a thumbnail for me whatsoever. All wrong, all detractor bullshit. He's just a viewer.
Okay.
And he made a tier maker for me once or twice.
Okay, tier maker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Josh, do you have like receipts on that? Or is this what you've heard, or is this what's in his thread, or what?
Well, his response is there's definitely a relationship, or when I say relationship, I mean there's definitely like a connection. But his response is actually it falls through a crack. I don't know how to respond to that because the guy is definitely like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
and he definitely has like playlists of like little girls and stuff on his YouTube. Like that's archived independently of the forum. But
what do you think?
I think I remember seeing like his badge in chat though that he had a supporter, like a mod sword or something.
No, you're seeing someone gifted him a membership. That's what you're seeing. It's just a gifted membership. Anyone can get that on YouTube. That's just he has no power whatsoever on my streams whatsoever.
But he's allowed in your streams, though.
Yes, he is.
But he has playlists of little kids on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we publicly address this formally? This is good.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
Why is he allowed to be a member of your community when he's such a creep?
All right, so I'm not going to interrupt that much, but I for fair use, I want to chime in here. So Keem, if you're watching, fair use, commentary, transformative work. Also the keto folks. So yeah, the issue with Derek is that multiple people have reported to Phil, and I know I can tell you I know specific people that are friends with Phil in the streams, right? One of his moderators, and I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to give up that contact has let Phil know about Derek and everything that he's done. He's actually told Phil, hey, this stuff is real. It's not just a detractor meme or whatever. It's real. And yet again, Phil refused to do anything. I don't know why. I don't know if it was, again, because he didn't want the trolls to win. Or was it something more sinister? Was there something something within that relationship that caused Phil to give him carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wanted? And that's the serious question that I think people need to dig into. Not simply that, oh, Phil refused to ban him. Now that he banned him, oh, everything's fine. No, I mean there still needs to be a little bit of digging there of that relationship. Why would Phil allow this to happen for so many years, even after he was notified over and over again? That's the story that people should dig into. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is Phil lied. He's made multiple tier lists for him. He's made 3. I believe he's made 3 tier lists, and he's made the thumbnails. Not too many people read Phil's chat, but if you actually read Phil's chat, there have been multiple times where Phil mentioned he was working on thumbnails, or he was sending him a list, or he was doing something for him, and Phil would acknowledge it on the stream and say, "Thanks, Derek. I'll check out your email when send me an email and I'll check it out after the stream." That's documented. That's out there, Phil. So this nonsense that he has no power, he does nothing on your stream is a lie. It's not true. Now, the other thing is the membership. Yes, Derek, for the most part, does get gifter memberships. He does. But he's purchased memberships before. He has a purchased membership on DSP React. This isn't, he's not a supporter. He never gives money. He's not one of your whales. Well, not anymore. He used to be a whale when he had his mom's credit card. But he's no longer a whale anymore. But he still supports you, Phil. He still does. So you trying to sit here and explain that, oh, well, he's a nobody or he doesn't donate is not factually true.
It's the one thing that's really fucked. Yeah.
Here's my philosophy. You guys can completely disagree as streamers yourselves, and everyone out there watching, you may also disagree as well. All right, but allow me to lay down my methodology here.
Sure.
Okay. I'm a content creator. Every day I put on a stream. I'm trying to entertain an audience. I'm trying to make a living. I got a chat. People come in. People come out. I see people from all walks of life. People from here, there, and everywhere who attend my streams, and I don't judge anyone for anything but what's going on in my stream. Okay. If I see someone in this stream doing something disgusting, having awful things said, or they're breaking the rules, they're out of it. I have rules laid out. Actually, my stream, I think, is a little bit more lax than others because I used to be known as like the moderator heavy guy, and now I almost don't have any moderators anymore. I kind of handle it all myself. But anyway, my philosophy is what goes on in my stream is the extent of my responsibility as a streamer to take care of. Now, anyone out there who makes content, do you personally know every single person who's on your stream? Do you know what their life is like behind the scenes? Do you know what kind of stuff they're into? What, their kinks, their bullshit, what they post on their social media? Of course not. How in holy hell would any of us ever know what all of our viewers are doing? Nor is it in our realm of responsibility to have to actually look into that. You understand? These people are just here to watch me. That's all I care about.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying. You don't know everyone's backstory. You can't control everyone. Makes sense. But we have verifiable evidence that Derek is a pedophile. He has playlists of kids, and it's really weird fucking shit. And this is the one thing Ashton and I are like, what the fuck is...
What the fuck
I
is
get
this
what you're
shit?
saying.
And
I get what
Josh
you're saying.
looked into it yesterday. Let's let Josh. Josh, what do you think about what Phil just said?
Well, it's not just this. Knowing about it, like when you find out, like you have to do something about that. And from what I understand, the big point of contention is not just that he's there; it's that other people, who are in your community, who are in your chats, have pointed out that this guy is who he is, and he seems to be getting a layer of protection that people are able to observe. He seems to get away, according to the people that watch, he gets away with a lot more than other people would. It's suspicious to them. I don't know. I've not seen this, but that's what. That's what.
So you don't even know what they're saying. You just think that somehow he's getting some kind of protections in my stream, is what you're saying.
Yeah, either from people in the chat calling it out or just in regards to his behavior. Like apparently he spams a lot and he gets a pass with that, and people suspect that there is some kind of association there where he gets a pass. Like for instance with the thumbnails, because they say that he has like a monthly vacation, and during that vacation the style of your thumbnails changes, and that is how they come to the conclusion that the thumbnails are being made by him, because they don't get made by him when he's gone.
He's literally never made anything like that for me whatsoever. He's, like I said, the only thing he's ever made is 2 tier makers, I believe, over the last year.
So he
That's
has
it.
made stuff though.
Okay, so yet another discrepancy. All right, I want to give Phil the benefit of the doubt here. Yet another discrepancy. Derich was gone for 1 month. Everyone knows he was traveling to China and Japan. He was on vacation with his family. And within that whole month, right, there were no new thumbnails. There was a time period where Phil got editors and they were working on his throwback channel and other stuff. And they really didn't have time to do additional work for Phil as it relates to thumbnails for his other channel. So Derich, of course, was willing to step up. I was trying to find the stream where they talked about where Phil had asked for help. Phil said, if anyone wants to do channel art, help me with thumbnails, I can't do it, I would appreciate it. I can't ask my editors to do it. And Derich chimed in. Derich chimed in and said that he can help. I was trying to find it, and I can't find it. This was several months back. So if I find it, I'll post it. I'll post that video clip of him reaching out to Phil and saying that he was willing to help. But it's just so coincidental that for a whole month that Derich was gone, none of his videos received thumbnails. And the very minute Derich came back, the very same day, Phil started getting new thumbnails on his videos, and then it's a specific it's a specific type of thumbnail. Apparently, Derich kind of has a he has kind of a frame or a layout that he uses, and he simply just modifies it. It's a colored background. He puts a picture of Phil with an outline around Phil, and then puts in text. That's his video. That's his streams. That's his thumbnails. So again, it doesn't make sense, Phil, and why don't you just own up to it? And of course he never will, because it will show that he's complicit, and of course that he's lying yet again.
Yeah, 2 tier makers, and one that I used on a stream and one I did not.
But
Yeah.
brother Phil, like, you can't have a pedophile making stuff for you and part of your community in a broad sense, right? Like, you should probably just ban the fucking guy and send him packing, and I think you'd get a lot less shit if you did.
Here's the thing. You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You guys are correct. If I were right now to say enough is enough, too many people have issue with this guy, ban him.
Sure.
Okay? That would solve that problem. However, the big picture that no one's
Let's
looking
solve
at.
that problem then.
Okay, but listen.
Yeah, good.
You don't understand the Pandora's box that you open once you do.
That's a very obvious, like, slippery slope fallacy. It's like you can get rid of the guy that has the
That
little
is
girl
a fallacy.
playlist on YouTube without opening Pandora's box. That's
No.
not really the right-
Oh, Josh, you got to listen, all right? Because, again, you know how bad my detractors are, correct? You know how crazy they are. The only reason that we even know anything about this person is because my detractors went to all of his personal socials and dug into them deep.
But he's a
went to his-
pedophile.
But they got him.
They
Right,
dug
they
into
got
them
him,
deep.
though.
Okay, now
he-
hold on.
he's a
I know.
pedophile,
Listen.
yeah.
I'm not disputing what you guys are saying, but please let me finish what I'm
Oh,
saying.
sure,
as it is.
for sure.
All right. If the only reason that I know that this guy did something bad is because people went off of the realm of my streams and my content to find it, I'm sorry, but that's not my responsibility to be dealing with. Do you understand? Because here's the thing. Now, please listen. If I ban Derich right now, I call him Derich because that's what I thought his name was. I guess it actually is Derich or whatever. But if I ban Derich right now, here's what will happen. Because here's what Josh just said about Kiwi Farms. If he deletes my thread on Kiwi Farms right now, the detractors go somewhere else to do something worse, correct? If I ban Derich right now, the detractors won because they say, look what we did. We researched a guy who no one would have known he had anything wrong with him by just watching Phil's streams. For the record, Derich has never once talked about any of this malicious activity on my stream. He knows better than that. He doesn't bring that shit. That's his personal life or whatever, right? So he does not do that on my streams. If I ban him, guess what happens? The detractors say, we got the response we wanted.
His
We'll finally
personal
ban him.
If I may,
We're on to the next.
I have a very personal, like, because there's a very comparable story to this. The forum is having a kind of beef with this Ricada guy that you know about, and he dug through some information and he found out that one of the users is a convicted child pornographer from the District of Columbia. And when this was brought to my attention, I banned him. And sure, them finding this out was a win. You know, they won. They got to say, oh, well, the Kiwi Farms has a pedophile. We can prove it. And it's true. It's embarrassing. But I still banned him because I don't want a pedophile on my forum. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
it is a fair comparison. However, what you didn't let me finish the statement
ahead.
here. The moment I ban Derich and these detractors say we won, guess what happens? You just gave them exactly what they wanted. You gave them the attention they're craving, and then they move on to someone else. And then they move on to someone else.
Phil,
and then they move on to someone else until it's done.
But sometimes in life you have to hold the L, and sometimes bad people are going to get a win. But that's just the reality. You can't have a pedophile in your community, like an open pedophile, and you're basically admitting he's a pedophile.
Oh no,
and
let me tell you
saying
this.
it's okay.
I will say this. I don't know anything about that because I make it a philosophy. I do not personally research my viewers. I think that's fucking creepy. That I would spend my time every time that someone says something about someone, I got to go search their socials. I got to go to their YouTube page and search their history.
Wait, may I say one thing? Sorry, may I say one thing? Okay, so you're saying people did research outside the realm of your show and
Right.
whatever. I get what you're saying there. Well, if Derich was caught and you found out that the police found something on him and he's in the middle of a trial right now and he was a pedophile, right? And it wasn't the detractors or anything. It was through legal whatever, right? Then would you ban him because it wasn't detractors?
Well, how would I find out about that? Like, how would I even know
A
that?
fan of yours goes, I live in the same city as him and I saw him on the news, for example.
What if it was Harvey Weinstein? Like, how bad does somebody have to be before you're like, well, I don't want to associate with this guy?
So if
You know what
Hitler
I mean?
was on my stream and was still alive,
Yeah.
I'd ban Hitler, right?
Yeah, if Adolf Hitler 1488 was an active user on your stream, would you ban him? Because he's only Defier in Germany, and you don't know anything about that, right?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. But and I totally understand what you're saying. I do. Let me tell you, I've gotten a lot of shit over this. And here's the funny part. What the fuck does this have to do with me? It's not even anything I've done or ever. I got to take shit because someone got dirt on a viewer of mine who talks a lot in chat or whatever. And again, the other things you've been told are not true. He's not a moderator. He doesn't regularly make any content for me. He's had one tier maker that I made. That's it. Like, that's literally the extent of that. And then he talks a lot.
Let's just talk about, so if he does have playlists of little girls on his channel, he's creeping on little girls. Do you disavow that behavior?
Oh, absolutely I do. Absolutely,
So you disavow Derich then?
Yeah, I don't condone any of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to go out of my way to find out who everyone is or what they do outside of the realm of my
Going
stream.
out of your way,
We're
though,
bringing
like,
it to you.
me and Josh have both looked at it as of yesterday, saw that it was foul and disgusting, and now we're bringing it to you. We're credible. Like, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah,
If
let me
you-
phrase it
Oh,
like this.
I know, but I totally understand where you guys are going
You
with it.
you are
I do.
totally correct that if you ban this guy, the detractors will start looking into your viewers harder. You are totally correct. That is a completely accurate assessment. But wouldn't you still not want this guy to be in your community or your audience and openly known as this guy? Because if I'll swing it the other way, it's a no-win situation. That's correct. If you
That's right.
don't ban him, if you ban him, then the detractors will look into your other viewers, and you're completely accurate about that. But if you don't ban him, if you do nothing, then they will just continue to bring this up with an accurate line from the point A to point B, and it will always be there, and it will always haunt you, and people will always ask, well, why the fuck doesn't he just ban this guy if he knows about it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-win situation. I agree.
You're right.
But I think
So-
that one option is better than the other.
So to answer that, at least in my experience, and
All right, I let it go on far enough so that Phil can hang himself. Okay, again, I don't understand why he's choosing this. Why is he choosing this hill to die on? Take the L. Dude, I've done stuff in my past, my streaming career, where I took a big L. For example, yesterday on the Keemstar stream, I have everybody's a mod in my chat. It's just a running gag that we have, and it's usually not a problem. But I had some idiots go in and start banning people that were disagreeing or saying stuff, and that's a no-no. So that was my fault because I allow everyone to be mods. So I can't blame anyone. It was my fault. So I unmodded everyone, and I made a public apology on Twitter, and actually reached out to, because I can't reach out to Phil because he has me banned. I reached out to Andy and PvP and said, hey, this is what happened. Please tell Phil my apology. It was my bad, but this is what's going on. I demodded everyone. If he wants to have a conversation, let me know. So I publicly apologized and ate the L. That was an L for me. Yeah, because I could have gotten DSP on my stream. So big L for duty. Perfectly fine. Own up, you move on. Are you trying to say, Phil, that you will defend a PDF file because you don't want your detractors to get a win? Because you're worried that that's going to embolden them to go after other people? And here's the real serious. Here's the skinny right here. This is the truth. Phil doesn't care that the detractors go after his viewers. What Phil cares is that they actually go after his whales. That's Phil's issue. So, for example, 1 Minute Man, who was Phil's big time whale for many years, used to go by the name Planet Jeff, then became 1 Minute Man. He got doxxed a few months ago. He got doxxed. And they got all of his information, they published it, and as soon as all that information became available, he left. He was donezo with Phil. He stopped tipping him, he stopped super chatting him. You don't see him anymore, right? And that's the reason, that's why Phil is worried. Phil is worried that detractors are now going to go after his whales, and then when they find something wrong or incorrect, they're going to bring that to light. And what's going to happen is, you know, Phil is setting a precedence here, where Phil is worried of setting a precedent. He's worried that if he does it once, he's going to be expected to do it again. And if one of his whales get doxxed because of something similar, Phil's going to have to take action. And if he doesn't, people are going to point and say, wait a minute, you did it for Derich. Why aren't you doing it for this guy? Because you were put under pressure? So you really don't care, right? That's what they're going to say. People are going to say, so you really didn't care that he was doing something heinous. You just fell to peer pressure. That's what it was. You felt the pressure from the Kino folks because they're your new friends. And that's akin to throwing your best friend under the bus because your new friends dislike him. That's what happened here. It did. And again, I'm not justifying Derich. Derich should have been gone years ago. The man is a filthy, disgusting person. He should be locked up, honestly. He should for the crap that he did. And I'm not justifying it. I'm round of applause. Let's give Phil a round of applause. That's right. Round of applause for actually doing the right thing. It's sad that it took this many years and it took peer pressure from the Kino folks to get you to actually do something. But big ups for actually doing it. And again, I want to point out the fact that this isn't about banning someone who wasn't being a perv on the stream. It's the precedent of, it's the issue of setting a precedence that when one of his whales gets, doxxed, or there's some information about one of his whales, that it comes to Phil's light and Phil's going to have to ban that person. And of course, it's going to hurt his pocket. That's what Phil's worried about. He's worried about another 1 Minute Man situation.
I'm 42 years old. I don't know how old you are, Josh, but I'm 42 years old. I've learned in my 42 years on this planet that I would much rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't. And what I mean by that is, I know who Derich is. I can't confirm or deny what you guys are saying because I've literally never looked into it.
How can you say you know who he is when you won't look into it?
I know who he is in my chat. I know who he is as part of
This is flat out delusional, though. Like, if you look at his Twitter account, it's just straight up porn.
Okay, I believe you. You're telling me this now as a neutral third party, correct? You're neutral.
Yeah, and we think it's very foul. Like Phil, this is not like, oh, someone's kind of like an incel or weird or whatever. And
it's great playlist. This is like hundreds of videos of just little girls doing innocuous things. Actually, it's genuinely fucking creepy.
Well, if this is what you guys are telling me, then yeah, I'm gonna ban him.
Let's go! Yeah, honestly, you should ban him.
Hold on. The devil, that was the devil I knew. You understand?
Yeah.
So I can deal with that. I know how to deal with this guy. He talks a lot in the chat and whatever, and it's annoying to certain people, and I gotta hear people talk about what he does in his personal life. But now when I ban him, now I gotta deal with the devil I don't know. What's the next person who's now gonna get harassed by my detractors? And I don't want this to be like Phil's viewer hunt.
I understand that, but I think regardless of what you do, your viewers are going to get harassed.
And they're still going after your other viewers, dude. This
happened before. Like, there were whales on the DSP channel who got doxxed. And I think that was one of the other things where I was kind of irritated with people on the DSP board because they were doxing, like, I don't remember his name, but there was a guy that gave you a lot of money. And simply because he gave you a lot of money.
You have to understand something. What you're describing right now is a normal day of behavior on that forum about me. That's not like the exception to the rule. That's literally what happens every time a whale shows up to support me. They get doxxed on your forum.
And that's why the Derich thing doesn't matter, because it's like they're going to be pieces of shit no matter what. And honestly, like, we're telling you right now, I swear, Phil, we've been as nice as possible. I got to say, this Derich guy is twisted. Like,
it's just bad news, Phil, and you gotta get rid of this guy. Like, you didn't know until today, but now you know. And I'm just telling you, man, if you don't,
it gets worse if you don't do anything about it.
It gets way worse if you don't get rid of him. And quite frankly, our audience isn't going to tolerate Derich. And Like, and nor do I. I'm not going to tolerate Derich either. And some people in chat are saying, why haven't you banned Derich from this chat? If Derich hasn't been banned from our chat already, I advise every single mod to ban him because I honestly like. It's just this weird, creepy stuff. Like, he's got lolicon going on his Twitter. He had that YouTube playlist of little girls. And then everything he talks about is porn all the time. And it's just a bad look for you to be associated with it, Phil. And I think if you were to cut this cancer off at the legs and just throw him the fuck out, I think you would win a lot of respect and support from people. Straight up.
See, and here's the thing what you just said. So if you were to cut the cancer off, but the thing is, he's not me. He's just a dude in my chat. So I get what you're saying.
Is reality,
the only reason that association ever existed is because my detractors went and stalked the guy to figure out the information. I'm not being sympathetic to what he's doing. I'm sympathetic to 100%. The fact that this guy never did that in my chat. And then the rules now are going to become, oh, well, now if you ever do anything that's deemed immoral, Phil might ban you from his chat. And I don't. All right, so I mean, I'll be honest. Here's my final statement on it. It makes me sad for 2 reasons. Number one, it makes me sad to know that this guy does all that shit because I heard it for like 2 years now, and I'm just like, it's just the detractors, right? Maybe they're exaggerating, they're making it up. And I know the philosophy, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna look into it because if I do, I've broken my own moral code that I'm not gonna look and stalk and harass my own viewers. So that's why I haven't done it until today. But now that you guys have said this to me, I believe you. I don't think you have anything to gain by lying to me. So I will be banning him when he shows up because undoubtedly he's going to show up in my chat this week, and I will ban him on all of my channels.
Way to go, Phil. Way to throw away your moral principles. It's so weird because it's like, I'm glad that he got rid of Derich because Derich's a piece of crap. But then it's like, okay, Phil, why didn't you do this before? And I think my biggest problem is Phil has to lie about this. He talks about he wasn't made aware of this. He thought it was just a detractor meme. And it wasn't. You had people in your chat, regulars that were saying it's true, sending you information and links. You had Kino Casino folks talking about it. This isn't something new, Phil, and you chose to give it a blind eye. For whatever reason, you chose to give it a blind eye and didn't want to deal with it because you thought that you were going to give your detractors a win. And right here in that clip, he just said it right now, he's worried that they're going to go after other people, aka whales. That's really what he's concerned about. He's concerned that detractors are going to start going after his whales, and they're going to uncover some really shady stuff, and he's going to be out of pocket. That sucks. I'm not a big fan of doxing anybody. I'm not, but I think doxing someone and exposing a PDF like Derich are two different things. They're two different things. So yeah, I mean, this hill that Phil wants to fall on and talk about, I want to tell you why I'm sad. Why are you sad that you're finally getting put on the spot about a PDF? And my thing is, the Kino brothers, the Kino folks, they let you off pretty soft. They let you off pretty easy, where they wanted to praise you for doing something that you should have done 7 years ago, and you refused to do it because you didn't want to give the detractors a win. But again, I'll give you a small W that you finally actually did it. Or did he? That's the other thing, folks. What I want to do is I want to show you a post that I made yesterday. Of course, your boy Duty was watching. Phil's stream last night because, of course, I was curious. I wanted to see the whole banning of the whole banning of our boy Derich, right? And what exactly happened? Something very interesting. So right here, I posted out. This is the second tweet. I think I responded to Secret Limited. But apparently, it looks like Derich or someone that was LARPing as. Okay, first statement here is I don't know if this was truly Derich, but I find it interesting that it was his name, right? And it sounded just like Derich. He hashtagged Phil and says hashtag DSP Gaming. I created my new account. Will send you the name. Will my membership transfer over? Okay. And then the second tweet here is, I'm going to take your suggestion and create another account. I'll let you know my name. Okay. Again, I don't know if this is Derich or not, but isn't this the same thing that he told his other folks, aka Canadian Kirk? Remember Canadian Kirk when he finally got banned for the 1,000th time? Phil told him, you know what, if you want to come and chat, just create another account, create a sock account, and don't let anyone know it's you. Remember that? That's what Phil told Canadian Kirk. Well, I mean, it's really weird that Derich would have come on and actually say, I'm going to take your suggestion and create another account. I'll let you know what my... Almost as if he reached out to him. Almost as if Phil reached out to Derich and had a conversation with him. And said, I'm sorry, Derich, I'm going to have to ban you because I fell to peer pressure. I have to keep Kino Casino happy, so I'm throwing you under the bus. But what you can do is just create another name and just come in chat and don't let anyone know that it's you. But Derich is an idiot, so I can see this being actually happening, where he got, excuse me, Phil's message and then decided to come on stream and let Phil know that he was going to take a suggestion, which should just be hilarious. So new challenge to people that are watching Derich. Keep an eye out to see if he actually creates another sock account and if he talks and acts like Derich. If he does, then maybe we can then say, yep, this actually happened. But in the meantime, this is just speculation. And then right here, the final tweet. DSP Gaming. I created my new account. We'll send you the name. Will my membership transfer over? Was that the first one? I think it was 3 that I posted. Let me see. Yeah, there was another one. I forgot to post the other one. But essentially, he said, oh, he also said, hey, Phil, did you see my post? Did you see my message? That's what he said. So it sounds like Derich behavior. So yeah, so keep an eye out, folks, for Derich in chat. I'm pretty sure that this isn't the last of Derich that we're going to see. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.